Previously on In the Middle.
So fuck what they talking about on your timeline. That's cutting all into my time with you.
We're doing so good. We're being so productive.
Okay, yeah, let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere.
Testing. Mic test 1 2 1 2. Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Episode 6. On staying. Learning how to arrive without running. It happens sometimes that you arrive somewhere you never planned to reach. Not for lack of wanting more, but because there was never a picture of what after would look like. There was never a picture of what after would look like, so we didn't imagine this far. We didn't imagine staying. For a long time, life was about movement, about getting through, about running toward whatever kept us alive. It makes the stillness feel unfamiliar, like learning a new language with an old body. Staying is a practice, not a decision you make once. Staying changes the questions we ask. When you stop running, you start to notice who is still moving around you. Who is still moving, who knows how to rest, who doesn't. Staying asks something different of love. It happens sometimes that the people you love do not love you back, or love you poorly, or love you only as much as they're capable of loving themselves in that moment. In that moment, we do not hold it against them. We do not hold them against ourselves. We do not carve space inside ourselves for those who do not yet know how to stop running, even when they have arrived at the door of home. Some people are still learning that love is a still thing. Still, an action of peace and not of war. Staying is a practice. And not everyone learns stillness at the same time, in the same ways. Some of us are taught early. Some of us learn it by force. Some of us are still circling the house afraid to knock. Afraid to knock, and still life keeps asking to be built. So we are building lives without having seen them modeled. No clear inheritance of ease. No instructions on how to arrive and remain. No instructions for what arrival feels like. No proof that anyone stayed. Everything we know, we learn by doing, by repetition, by listening closely to what settles. What settles instead of what impresses. Some days that feels like freedom. Other days it feels like standing alone in the middle of something unfinished. Unfinished, trusting that the work itself will teach us how to stay. Staying is something we had to learn. Our bodies remember things we've never had language for. Hands remember work. Backs remember carrying. Feet remember long roads, even when the path grows quiet. There's knowledge in repetition, intending, in returning to the same gestures day after day. Returning, cooking, cleaning, writing, beginning again. This is how lives are built, not loudly but faithfully. We are learning how to stay, how to arrive without running. We teach ourselves the lessons we should have been taught. Work leaves a mark, not always visible, but felt. Felt in the way it changes how we move through the world, what we tolerate, what we are willing to wait for, and who we are not. As it turns out, someone can teach you a lesson they have not yet learned themselves. We do not wait. We do not place our lives on hold, waiting for anyone to figure it out. We do not wait. But we do lend grace because we know what it is to be the runner. to be the hunted. To be the hunted, to move so fast we don't know how to stop. We know exhaustion. We know exhaustion. We know exhaustion. What it is to run so far. You can't find your way back alone.
We have sugar again? Finally?
We lend grace. Our grace doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering clearly.
Corn.
Without letting memory decide where we live. Even so, nothing we do begins with us. We are not alone in this.
But it came for...
Even when the work is solitary, it is crowded with memory. Crowded in the hands behind our hands, ways of moving, taught without language, gestures passed down without instruction, without explanation. We learn how to do the work by doing the work the way it has always been done, even when we do not know who taught us. We carry people we have never met into kitchens, into morning routines, into the smallest decisions, into how we season, how we clean up, how we begin again. We carry kin into bedrooms, into lovers' homes, into how we touch, how we listen, how we stay. We lay prostrate at our altars. Some we were given, some we build ourselves. There are prayers we were never taught to speak. They live in the body,
The two things I forgot.
in repetition, in breath, in the ways we wash our hands before beginning, as if preparing for something that cannot be rushed, in the way we pause before saying yes, before the way we've learned to say no, before crossing a threshold. We are accompanied even when we feel alone. There is a presence that does not interrupt, that does not demand, that waits, watched over, not in judgment, but in patience. There is a listening, older than us, older than our fear, older than our doubt. A listening that meets us when we slow down, when we stop proving, when we stop running. We do not have to call it anything for it to hear us. We feel it in moments of quiet, in the weight of our own hands, in the steadiness of standing still. We move carefully now, as if something sacred is paying attention, as if every small action is being received, as if staying itself is an offering. This is not nostalgia. We are not reaching backward. We are standing inside something that never stopped moving. This is continuation. The work continues. The loving continues. The choosing continues. We are learning how to stay. Not as resistance, not as retreat, but as devotion. Presence accumulates. Every hand that worked before leaves something behind. Something behind in a rhythm, a posture, a way of tending. Eventually, that rhythm becomes a place. So we leave the light on. A cup of tea on the table in the homestead. On the table, not as a promise, as a posture. We go on living. We go on loving. We go on. and that love includes them. However it transforms, our love does not disappear. Does not disappear, but sometimes it looks and feels different. For home is not a moment. It is a decision made again and again. Again and again. Again and again and again and again and again and again to soften instead of harden. To keep the door usable. This life is ours, not because it is finished, not because it is flawless, not because, but because we are present in it. We stayed. We stayed. We stayed. We stayed. We stayed. We chose alignment over approval. We learned how to hold our lives with both hands in the same ways we give with both hands. This is not a performance. This is a practice. We are learning how to arrive without running. Claiming a life does not make it loud. Most of the time, it makes it quieter. Quieter, smaller gestures, clearer mornings. And most days look small. From the outside, nothing remarkable is happening. Nothing at all remarkable, but inside those days is devotion. A commitment to staying, even when nothing is being proven. Nothing being proven, but we are not rushing anymore. We are letting things take the time they require. Repetition teaches patience. It teaches that love does not announce itself. Does not announce itself sometimes. It just keeps showing up at the same place, at the same hour, for the same person. And if they come home, we welcome them. We say we missed you. We missed you. We missed you. Don't you know how much we missed you? It hasn't been the same without you. You are loved here. Love here, you can rest here. And if they don't, if the prodigal daughters never return, everything we said is still true. Welcome is not conditional. It exists whether or not it is received. The house remains. The light remains. A home remains. We do not know exactly where this is going, but we know how it feels to be inside it. Inside it, grounded, lived in, held together by care and intention. We are still here, still building, still choosing peace over flight, over fight, over flight, over fight, over fighting, over flying away. So we continue, not perfectly, not without fear, but with intention. We take our time. We tend to what is in front of us. We choose care again and again. Time moves differently now. Not in milestones, not in proof, but in mornings that repeat, in evenings that soften. We are no longer measuring our lives by how fast we can escape them. We are learning how to live inside the hours, inside the ordinary, inside what returns to us when we return. There was a time when every choice felt like a test, as if one wrong step would undo everything. But staying teaches us that not every decision needs to be dramatic. Some choices are quiet. What to cook, when to rest, when to stop, what to leave unfinished, so we can return to it tomorrow. We are not striving anymore. We are tending to what is alive, tending to what needs time. We water, we wait. We learn the difference between effort and force, between care and control. This is slower work, but it lasts. Sometimes it feels like no one is watching, and sometimes it feels like everything is, as if the room itself is paying attention, as if the walls remember who has stood here before. We do not perform for this presence. We move honestly, because honesty is easier to carry. We used to believe that meaning lived at the end, that we'd arrive and then understand. But the middle is where we are changed. The middle is where we practice. The middle is where we learn how to stay. We return, not because we failed, but because returning is part of the work. We return to the page, to the stove, to the breath. We return more ourselves each time. We are not rehearsing our lives anymore. We are not waiting for the right version of ourselves to arrive. This is the life. This body, this day, this breath. We do not get to practice it before we live it. So we live it carefully, not cautiously, but attentively. Endurance does not always look like strength. Sometimes it looks like showing up without spectacle, like choosing to keep the lights low and the pace gentle, like doing the work without needing to be seen doing it. This is how we last. There are seasons where nothing confirms that we are doing this right. No applause, no arrival, only the feeling of being held by something unnamed. We learn to trust that feeling. We learn to trust ourselves inside it. Meaning does not announce itself. It settles. It waits for us to stop chasing it. It arrives quietly when we are already occupied with living. Morning comes whether we are ready or not. Light enters the room in the same way it always has. We wake up. We brush our teeth. We begin. Not because everything is clear, but because the day is here. We learn how to meet it without asking too much of it. There is shelter in the ordinary, in routines that do not ask who we are becoming, only that we show up. The body knows what to do, even when the mind is tired. We follow the body through the day. This is not resignation. This is care. Rest used to feel like something we had to earn. Now we let it arrive when it does. We lie down without explanation. We stop without apology. The world does not collapse. Everything keeps breathing. Some days, nothing resolves. No answers appear. No clarity arrives. And still, we stay. We cook. We clean. We write. We choose not to abandon the day or ourselves. Time passes through the body. We feel it in our joints, in our breath. Not as loss, but as accumulation. We are not emptying out. We are filling.
Yeah, like really good. But it's because like I'll show you why I got it for 60. What are you gonna do? I don't know. I thought you were never. So, and it'll be not paying that. Well, you're not paying that either way because I'm doing it. Putting back everyone right now. Oh my god. Give me some space. You'll never so stupid. I don't want to get out of my house. Just say that. Like, that wouldn't have fucking worked. Like, go again and what? Clean like that every time.
It reminds me of the...
It balances out.
Yeah, grandma.
But if you feel now, cross socks in my mind are shaky, so please hold on tight. All my demons run wild.
We do not need to rush toward meaning. Meaning is already there. In the breath, in the work, in the choosing. In the days we did not think we would survive, but did. We are still here. Still listening. Still learning. Still staying. Even when staying costs us. Even when it asks more than we thought we had. We leave the light on. Not as a signal. Not as hope. But as fact. This life is held. This life is watched. Even when no one is looking. This life is enough. Not because it is easy, not because it is healed, but because it is ours. We have learned how to stay with the fear, with the longing, with the unfinished. And so we stay, not bravely, not loudly, but honestly. And if this is all there ever is, it is still real, it is still holy. We stayed because we learned how, and because we deserve to. We stay for everyone who didn't get the opportunity to.